All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com, and today is Monday, ladies and gentlemen, the 7th of the 7th of 2025. Look, this is a quick video on the upcoming interest rate decisions, plural, by the RBA and RBNZ. Look, before we jump into all that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'm not going to disappear anywhere. But yeah, basically, I just wanted to tell you that I am looking at the RBA and RBNZ interest rate decisions, which are coming out tomorrow and on Wednesday, respectively. So we'll talk about all that. So I just wanted to share a few quick little technical setups as well, just to see where we are with some pairs. But before we jump into that, as always, let me just quickly mention our Markets.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. Ladies and gentlemen, just quickly to explain what we're looking at here. So we're looking at Tuesday, the economic calendar. We're seeing the RBA interest rate decision, and we are expecting a cut. We're expecting a 25 basis point cut. So basically, this is what I've talked about in my webinar this morning. So what I was saying that, look, with Australia, I think that they can afford right now they can afford going for that cut because in a way, inflation has been stable. I mean, their Q on Q inflation, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check, the 2.4, sitting at 2.4 for 2 quarters in a row. And in a way, that's within the RBA's inflation target, which is between 2 and 3%. So in a way, perfect. Other metrics like unemployment still is fine, sitting at 4.1. It has been like this for 5 months, was what I can see here from the calendar. And so in a way, everything is kind of looking okay for now. Yes, there is uncertainty about the tariffs. We don't know what kind of outcome we're gonna get there, but something tells me that it will be fine, right? I mean, just the tariffs, the tariff deadline will be kicked further and further down the line. So yeah, so that's why I think at the moment everything's fine. I think the central bank of Australia can afford to go for that little rate cut. You can see at the technical picture right now on AUD USD, we're seeing a little bit of a bit of a decline, I would say, but everything is still maintained. So in a way, it seems like maybe this is the reaction to the fact that we're going to be getting a rate cut. So of course that's not in favor of the Australian dollar. However, also this decline probably is happening because of the slight strength today of the US dollar. We're seeing a nice pump here to the upside on the kind of the first day after last week. So when they were on holiday, the US was on holiday on Friday, as we know. So this is the first day that they're going to be coming back. And yes, we're seeing a little bit of a pump. However, still, don't get me wrong. I mean, do I believe that the US dollar is going to rally from here? Look, for me, I need to see this break of this downside line here taken from the highest point of February of 2025. If we can clear this 97.70 zone as well on the way higher, then yeah, why not? Like, let's consider a little bit of a move to the upside. I'm not saying I'm going to get very bullish because in general, I'm still a strong believer that the US needs a weaker dollar because they need to show that, they need to make exports more or should I say imports into the US more expensive for all the exporters outside of US. So yes, basically for now, I think that's the politics. That's the game plan that they're following. And jumping into AUD USD back here, you can see that we are seeing a little bit of a decline. That's fine. Look, don't get me wrong. I think that inflation remains stable. However, if the central bank is thinking that, hey, maybe let's cut rates now in case in case inflation starts picking up again. If inflation starts picking up again, then it's better, to cut rates from a lower level. Cuts rates to hike rates from a lower level rather than from a higher. So if we drop it from to 3.6 here somewhere, and let's say inflation starts picking up. I'm not saying that if inflation starts picking up straight away, the bank will jump in with the hike straight away. No, they will give some time. You will I don't know, another half a year probably, until we see, let's say, crazy rapid inflation to the upside. Then they will see, then they would potentially go in hike. But at the moment, everything seems to be stable. So why not to, go for that little cut? Because I think that this could also stimulate the economy. Although, like I said, the economy is not really experiencing many difficulties, right? I mean, there are difficulties as always, but that many difficulties, those severe difficulties. So if the economy is not experiencing that, then and you understand that maybe there could be a problem later on down the line because of all these tariffs. So maybe you can afford to go and do that cut right now. Again, that's just an idea. This is just a little theory. But looking at the technical picture here on AUD USD, what I'm saying here is that yes, we're in this rising wedge pattern, as you can see here with the lines. However, I do understand that the rising wedges tend to break to the downside, but in this case we have the prevailing trend to the upside, so maybe there could be a breakout here to the upside. But again, that's just a theory. That for now, for that theory to work out, we need to see a rebound from this lower side of the rising wedge. But the rising wedge is nicely coinciding with the 50-day EMA, so kind of that providing additional support here, potential support. If that's the case, then yeah, we could see a nice rebound and a push back up. Like I said, for now, I'm not a very strong believer of a stronger US dollar, hence why I believe AUD USD could reverse back up. Now, very quickly on the next interest rate decision, which is coming out and on Wednesday, and that's the RBNZ. Now, look, these guys have done their cuts already, so 3.25. I think they're sitting quite comfortably in there, and I think that for now, I think that this is what's going to happen here. I think that for now they will just keep it as it is, and I think that yes, I think that they're also benchmarking themselves with Australia. So and Australians are kind of playing the catch-up game if we're comparing it to the RBNZ. But RBNZ was doing these cuts. I think that they're fine. Their situation with the with inflation, it's sitting at 2.5, so that's okay. Nothing major. Their inflation target is between 1% and 3%. So we can see that their quarterly inflation numbers have been kind of stable within the closer to the upper side of this inflation target, because last time it came out at 2.5%. The previous 2 quarters before that, they were at 2.2%. So there is a little bit of an uptick, but still within the target. So for now, I think that they're going to keep it as it is. And in terms of how this could play out with New Zealand dollar, well, look, at the moment it's drifting lower, and I think that New Zealand dollar is kind of picking up the kind of the risk title a little bit more than the Australian dollar. Again, that's just my thought, and because lately, to be honest, I mean NZD JPY was seen more of a risk on risk off monitor, a little bit of a more accurate one. Again, but that's only my opinion on this one. Look, for now, I'll say it this way. We're drifting lower, but we're still not very bearish on this one. We broke below my hurdle here, the 0.6048, but what I was targeting next was this 50-day EMA. If it provides good support, hey, I'm kind of thinking of maybe a possible rebound here, or push higher. However, of course, if it doesn't, rebound from that 50-day EMA, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards the 100-day EMA or this 200-day EMA. But still, if I'm, let's say, looking at the EMAs, the way they're positioning here, like the 50, the 100, and the 200, shown as the green, blue, and white lines respectively, then we're seeing kind of a move to the upside here, where all the 50 is above the 100 and the 200, and the 100 is above now the 200. So everything is basically kind of proper. So long story short, for now, am I getting very bullish on this pair? No, not yet, because I want to see what's going to happen here. Maybe we'll get something similar as we had here back on the 23rd of June, where like a massive spike to the downside here, or a massive drop to the downside, but then actually it stabilized and pushed back up, back above the 50-day EMA. We could in a way test these EMAs, the 100 and the 200, but again, maybe with the same rapid drop and then kind of reversal. Again, this is just an idea. Let's see what's going to happen first with the 50-day EMA. If it holds, if it provides good support, I will consider a move back up and I will start shifting my attention towards higher levels if we push back above the 0.6048 zone right here, which previously I looked at as a good area of support. Now I'm looking at it as a good area of resistance. Look, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, do you agree or not? Or what are your thoughts, and we'll go from there. But I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time. So yes, like I said, please do like and share and subscribe, the usual YouTube stuff that we always ask you to do. And yeah, I hope you, like I said, I hope you enjoyed these little takes of mine on certain economic events. And yeah, please do leave comments if you believe otherwise, or if you have anything else to add. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you next time in my next video update. Bye for now.